John, got your feedback on, Phil, I took the project and what I need from the Sarasota Siesta Key Association for support. For example, I want Bob to start working with the associations and taking around a video that I'm going to have Paul do on our project. And like Jim, he's going to go to the associations, the condos, and we're going to really push for installs this year.
Excellent.
All right, so that's number one. Number two, we have Spencer Anderson, who's going to be draining a bayou that's on the west side of Ocean Boulevard into the canal. And I want a meeting with him to talk about that and also explain to him the chemistry we have now and the concerns we have with the canal water. Now, Catherine and Bob seem to think that he's actually going to empty the bayou into Roberts Bay. Well, that's still a Siesta Key waterway and it still counts. But the canal is very fragile right now and we don't want to do something like that. I say that. I got to get he says he's going to filter it. He's been very responsive before. So I really have to listen to what he has to say before I start judging.
All right.
So, and we need some some information on that area of the canal where he's thinking about. And what I want to do is if we can work together, he's the guy that would give us the flow. He would be the one that would support our case and go forward. Now, Molly does not work for him, but Adrian, the other person who judged she is his boss. So I'm trying to get a meeting set up there, and then
get him on our side.
Then our third thing I did is I pitched the Moleaer. Am I saying that right? Moleaer?
Moleaer, yeah, Moleaer.
Well, I'm Jean, and the Moleaer I understand. Okay, Moleaer. Anyway, I pitched that over the YSI and pitched we would do an investment. Okay, meaning that we'd have private investors and also people for SKEDF that are donating and to look for matching money through a grant. All right, now there's a couple of things, a monthly service charge. We have to talk about some of this. I told them this is real rough, but I'm leaning this way and I wanted them to, and the board of directors said basically they were concerned about the buoy being stolen. How are you going to connect it? And that would be a problem. And it would be, especially if we're going to publicize using it, it might be something attractive to people. And you know how people are. I'm Phil shaking his head. He knows how they are. So,
I got about 30 of those buoys decorating my house now, so I know people are going to look around.
Right.
Make it ugly. Get barnacles on it. Let's go ahead and plant barnacles on it.
Toxic
it's a danger.
sign.
Yeah.
But in any event, so it was well received, but I have more work to do. It's just a beginning. And of course, I got to move as quickly as we can. And
that's fine. And Gene, part of that as well, those things are GPS monitored and located. So, I mean, unless they took it and destroyed it, we could track kind of where it ended up or where they, even if they took it home and pulled the power out of it, we would see where the last transmission was. So,
right.
I thought originally we weren't going to have the nano system for that long, though. Is this changed now?
I think she's talking about the monitoring systems, not the nanobubble.
Just the monitor. Okay.
Yeah. I'm comparing the Moleaer apparatus with the YSI. Now, I pushed the YSI to include nitrogen and turbidity, which it doesn't include today. So if I'm looking at a comparable, I think, John, does yours do nitrogen as well or no?
You can do nitrogen. I don't know if I include that on the quote. Yes.
Okay, I might have to. And I got to look at that because I have to do something about why the water's green. And that's what I'm kind of figuring out. That's what I need to do.
Well, you could do chlorophyll levels as well.
Chlorophyll would be fine. That would work. That would work even better. To me, that's works better because it'll cover some more things that we don't always get with nitrogen. I agree. That would be fun. And you saw, I sent out to everyone the tests for the last round. Now, the test that we took, you've got your phosphorus reading in there for our baseline. And you have a test of the canal, Lorraine's. It's too bad we didn't do the other two. Initially, I thought Dave was doing all three canals, and he ended up with only one. So I have a baseline that was done before on the other two canals, but our readings were really different. In other words, it was right after the rains. We got it at a real rainy spot, and the chlorophyll, not chlorophyll, the E. coli was really up. I told Dave to wear gloves because I was worried about that. But the second reading, it's back down to normal. So it was probably just a spike there, and those short canals, they're small canals, they would contain all of that. So it's a good kind of indication to tell people, look, this was just 2 weeks of rain, and look what it did to your water.
Yeah, you can go back and look at the salinity and how it fell off whenever it rained, and that probably correlates to what you need. So,
right. But see, that starts to build my evidence for education. That's the point. And if we could get something behind it in a monitoring way that's consistent and move it around for the different parts of the canal, I think we would be really in good shape. So that's why I'm pushing it, but we'll see. That's more. All right, so I'm sorry to hijack the meeting, but I wanted to bring everybody up to date where I'm working right now. Last thing, David is taking over for Pelican Ops. It's official. He's getting insurance. I should have the insurance certificate, hopefully tonight. And then Catherine and Bob are on board that I'm switching, but I have not called Megan until I get that insurance certificate. I want that to be, and I've got to get the other thing that makes him he was our viable option, but we replaced with Pelican Ops. So I'm going to have to go back to her and confirm I'm doing that. And we are a little behind on installs. He's in trouble with foam. Okay, so that's causing me a problem. Okay. So meaning that the mini reefs are not being built. I've asked for him for at least 5. We can start in November with 5. So it's probably what I'm going to do. And then we'll have a plan to be putting more in. How's that sound?
It's a start. The foam's probably sitting on a ship off Los Angeles or something. So,
unfortunately, probably so.
I saw a bunch of them. I flew over all those last weekend, and there's a bunch of them sitting out there.
Well, again, they said they had something like a 3-month backup. 3 months.
I've got some water treatment articles that are 300 days plus out. That's almost a year.
That's a year. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's for like water softeners. I do water treatment as well, so it's crazy.
I'll have to look for that because we have to clean some of those instruments. So, with yours, we don't have to do all that, do we?
Well, the instruments, no. I mean, they have a wiper and they will clean themselves. Yeah. But if you can buy that from Walmart or any store. Just get the ionized water.
Okay.
Distilled water. You'll be fine.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. So that was my quick update. Let's see, Phil, anything from you that you can think of that?
I was just curious how the meeting went, the SKA meeting. I was busy. I couldn't attend it. And apparently some people stepped forward and they're going to help us set up spreadsheets and relieve some of this pressure.
Yeah, I have 2 people that have committed to join with Excel skills, really good Excel skills that can help with the data for Dave and for us. I want them, I'm going to meet with them. Now, I never got confirmation back from Jocelyn. Jocelyn is the Save Our Birds and the Audubon person. She's just amazing, an amazing person.
Right.
And the other individual is Kent. So I've got a preliminary, gave me a meeting time. Now, what I didn't want to jump with them yet, meaning I'm planning to meet with them next week, Phil. So I would include you in that when I have that meeting. All right. And then I'm going to come back with Catherine. So I'll include you, but you were gone when the meeting took place.
I've also made a connection with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection planner, Emma Huggins, who I mentioned I wanted to do floating marshes along seawalls, which would mean like mini reefs trays below, but we could grow spartina or seagrass or whatever along the seawalls. And she got fairly excited about it, and she's ready to start a dialogue. So maybe we can do some kind of an experiment at the Commonwealth. I
would say we could do that, but we could also talk this to Spencer Anderson about doing something with the wastewater treatment plant. We want to keep getting our foot in there, Phil. There's
Right.
no reason why we couldn't be on that wall, you know?
Sure. Yeah. Right.
Yep.
100 miles of walls. Let's do something.
Right, well, I'm that,
100 years
listen,
of doing nothing. It's time to do something. So,
yeah, but there's a lot of work that goes into putting these meetings together and all, so I hear
know.
you. You got, and you'll have work too, because your videos are great. What your show makes it come alive. So we just have to be able to put some things together.
Well,
Okay.
I'll have to put my character face on and do my song and dance. Right, Paul?
We'll save that for the kids when we do the Out-of-Door Academy. You can show them how to take the science of the water. You know, I think that would be cool.
Sure.
You know what, Paul, you're mute. You're muted.
I can read his lips.
Yeah, I told him, ask him to unmute is what I just sent him.
I think he hears us because he
There
says
you
he
go,
hears
Paul.
everyone.
Paul, I can see your mouth moving, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, mute louder.
Oh, shoot, I should probably be recording because
He
I did
says
not.
he is recording it and he can hear everybody.
Okay, good.
Say something nasty about Paul and see if he reacts.
Okay, so now we know he reacts. Okay, so Paul's coming next week. He'll be coming back
Oh,
into
good.
next week. I'm shooting, Phil, I'm putting, one of the things I'm putting together for the meeting with Jocelyn and Kent is that project plan. We put together some details. I'm shooting for the week before Thanksgiving, having a little block party on the one area, the cul-de-sac that's a dead end. Okay, and turning that into getting, of course, you got to get everybody's permission, but maybe actually having SKA have hot dogs and bring the media. And that's why I want about 5 reefs in. And John, you'll be invited, but I got to get this thing planned.
Is this the Commonwealth cul-de-sac? Yeah, okay,
Yes.
great.
Just let me know.
Okay, I will.
Gene,
ahead.
also, if you can have a script you want to write out that Paul could record, and then I can edit pieces to it, the graphics and stuff that might make this, I can do it to his voice, make it about 4-minute promo package or whatever.
Well, what we did last time, which I thought worked really well, is I put it together a couple of questions for all 3 of us. Okay, because it's always smart to get everybody's thinking in there.
Right.
And I had you guys answer it. We did a good job, I thought, of building what we wanted. All right, so I like to go back to that so I can I can certainly kick it off with a framework of what we're doing and why we're doing it. Where we see it
We
going.
need, if we're going
Right.
to do this, we should get a
Absolutely.
little plan together.
And what I'm saying is I'll put together, Paul's got his finger up.
Yeah,
so
type it out,
he
Paul.
might
'Cause
be
I can
saying
see
this, but
see
he's
the
not-
chat. We can't hear you, so type it out.
type it in the chat window. Yeah, good idea. Yeah. He was very animated.
Yeah, he plays a good mute, doesn't he? He's our own Marilee Matlin.
You got him laughing now. Okay, I think I got something here. Wait a minute. Okay.
Oh, look, John's doing
I'm hearing everyone recording the event.
Shatner bit. Yeah.
All
It's
right.
supposed to be dark above you. It's supposed to be black above you there.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, John, I know we've been taking up the time. Let's
It's a
bring you
rocky
in.
road.
Bill, that's a good idea. Dave's back after the 15th. We'll set something up. Paul's traveling now, so I got to make sure I tie it into his plans. Maybe a little bit before he travels. We'll see. Okay. John?
Yes. Hi.
So how's the project?
Hi. Hey, so we're pushing ahead. I don't have that new unit in hand yet. I'm waiting on. I thought they'd shipped it last week. They haven't shipped it yet, but they're sending us a brand new unit to put in here. So it's a new rebuilt unit. So stay tuned. They didn't say exactly when that was going to be, but I'm pushing for it. Try to get in there by next week.
Okay. Paul's making a suggestion that what we do is plan to get a group Zoom call and do the video talking about the nanny bubbles and moving this Commonwealth project forward. Okay. which I think
Okay.
is a good idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can record when you install it. We can do a new recording. Lorraine did some, but we could do a little more explanation while we're installing the new unit. So
That'll be excellent because I'll take some of that and Paul's good at splicing things in. So this will be an example. That'd be excellent. And Phil, some of your video of the reef that we put in 112 days, ago it's just an excellent video, and it's just going to knock people's socks off. And if it waits only less than a year and you're getting this kind of growth. All right.
Yeah.
Now, is that Troy's reef that you have? Is that the one?
no, that's Eric's reef on Commonwealth.
Eric's reef. Wow. So I'm right. That Commonwealth area, because it's closer to the mouth,
Right,
is
right.
getting a better deal.
Oh, yeah,
That's for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, there's more
Yeah.
action up there.
Yeah, the DO, if you look back the trends, the DO is averaging like below 4 for this past week. It's crazy.
Okay.
So-
On the Lorraine's.
Yeah, on Lorraine's, yeah.
That's a
it's,
scary little place down there.
It's up and down. So, I mean, you'll see times where it goes up and then it drifts back down. So there's definitely some cycles in there, but the problem is that we need to keep oxygen elevated all the time.
Right.
So it's whether it's the small systems like we put there, or it's a larger land-based system in some of the mouths of these canals, so it kind of will carry through. And maybe something that we want to look at.
Right. Now, John, the canal right next to Lorraine's going towards Heigl, one canal over, that's where Troy is. Okay.
Right.
He's the one, and Kent, one of the new volunteer, is a couple of houses down from him. Both of them caught tarpon.
Awesome.
22-inch tarpon in the canal, one over from you. And they've never seen the variety of fish they're getting. There are 3 canals there together. Lorraine's, as you said, is really having trouble with oxygen, but it looked like Tony's was wider or something. They seem to get more oxygen. And then the last one, the third one's also, that's our control in it. So I think the worst one, it's shallower. That's part of the problem.
Hey, the one with tarpon, that's the one where you put the diffuser in there, correct?
Little
Yes.
pumper, little pumpers there.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he saw the tarpon before we put that in, so I don't think we've had an effect in that area just yet. So
No, and I think that part of it might have been, listen, guys, this is red tide time. And they may have been trying to escape red tide and coming into the canal at that point,
yeah,
because it was a necessity. So I don't, but I love to think it's what we did.
well, I would love to.
It's going to
now
help.
that-
Whatever we can
now
do to
that-
put oxygen in there is going to help.
Right.
Yeah,
Now
well,
that we have
yeah.
Now that we have 2 grants, I think it's time to look for a bigger grant because we have a little track record.
Well, I got to get a little bit more of a team because, again, I'm
Yeah.
75 years old, guys. I've done this all my life. I know what it's going to take. And it's going to take a lot of project management and teams working. So we'll get it going. But listen, I got a new house and no place to go. So sooner or later, I'll be able to do it.
You could live on the street. That would give you more time than working on a house.
Yeah, well, like Bruce said, the way I'm going, he's going to put me in an office. Okay. All right. So John, so what do you think's your date? What are you looking at as a new date? Maybe.
I'm pushing for it next week. I'd say realistically, it probably will be 2 weeks out. But I'm pushing for next week to get it in there, get it going. So
Okay.
that's my realistic date.
All right. So okay. So next week, but it could be Monday or Friday. You're still waiting.
No, it won't be Monday. It'll be either Friday of next week, like toward the end of the week, Thursday or Friday of next week, or the following week. Is what I'm looking at.
Okay, but just watch out. You're running into Halloween, I think. So only from the standpoint, there'll be a lot more people around, I don't know if that our traffic picks up on the key and stuff like that. We'll get more people in visiting.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's work through that. So when is Halloween? I haven't even looked at that on the calendar.
I know that's crazy, but
It's a Sunday, isn't it? Yeah, Sunday the 31st.
okay.
So the 29th. I mean, even
Yeah,
if we did the 29th,
that's it.
we should be okay, right? Or is that going to be a busy time down there?
I would say if you make the 28th, you're doing better.
I have issues on the 27, 20, 29. I can't
So
leave the house.
you won't be there. Okay. All right. I'll
All right,
come
well,
down,
let's,
but
yeah,
let me know. I'll come down, and Dave should be in. He'll probably want to come down too. So we'll have to get, keep us in the loop. One or both of us will be there. The problem is the filming. I'll have Paul stop by on that day, on the 28th. I'll have him stop by and do some filming, because it would be good if he could do the filming, because I'm not that good. Dave and I can take pictures, but I don't film like these guys do.
yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. So, I mean, so you said that Dave would do the filming? On the 28th?
I'll have Paul drop in for a few minutes and do the filming. Okay,
All right.
Paul. All right.
Gotcha, Paul.
Paul's got his finger up. What is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
It wasn't the other finger.
yeah. How many fingers you got, Paul? We got a whole sign language thing going here.
Hey, you better watch it. You're going to see the toe in a minute. Okay. How about Eli? How's he doing?
Eli's good. Eli's good. He's on some other calls this afternoon, but he's
Okay.
doing well. So
Okay.
he's helping us keep this thing moving forward. So
Right. And the last thing I'm going to ask is that what could you give me? Could you give me any kind of a pilot to test it out, or we put some publicity around it? Citizens group,
as far as the in the water sentinel like we have
Right.
here, or like a shore mounted unit?
I'll take a shore mounted unit if it does similar things, so we can show how it works. Okay. Just for a little while, so we can get a couple of readings off. And my point is that building the case of, what are you doing? This is crazy. We want to move into the 21st century, so we need to move into, and this will allow us to get to the schools, etc. So I'm all for this.
Okay. Excellent.
All right.
Yeah, I have a clear 150 with oxygen addition. So that would be different than what you guys have seen. This produces its own, 40% oxygen versus atmosphere, which is what we're doing. But this is more sustainable than oxygen bottles and so forth. So these are units we use all over the place. So that would be the unit that we would look at using somewhere.
Okay. Maybe we put that in Commonwealth. Phil?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? I mean, that's the fact of the matter is we have a good spot to begin with.
Yeah.
But we can see what this can do to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever we can do in Commonwealth as a test, I think would be good. A concentrated effort.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you. Should we set something up then? Not next week, but the week after? I'll have to look at my calendar. That's why I brought
Yeah,
this.
that was the 29th, but I think Phil said he's going to be out of town.
Out.
No, I can't leave the house for 3 days that week because I've got a dog issue here, so I have to babysit some dogs for a while. So
Okay. 29th.
I
So
have puppies.
we could still have the meetings, what you
Yeah.
said.
Right.
That would be good.
And a Zoom meeting would be good. And so, and is this a new puppies or?
Yeah, they're getting to be 7, 8 weeks old, and my wife will be at the national championship, so I'm the chief babysitter.
Right.
So,
And you got to keep your eye on puppies. You really do.
I do.
Yeah, it makes them cool. I don't want to see them, because then I'm going to be caught doing something else.
Okay. Well, I can pretend I'm a puppy. How's that?
That sounds good. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Anything else, guys?
That's all I have. Thank you.
Oh,
Thanks.
we're moving ahead. Season's starting. It's good.
Season, and we'll have everybody back. Look forward to it. Take care.
Thanks, team.
All right.
Talk to you.
All right.
Bye.
All right. See you, Paul.